These are all the fruits from Blox Fruits, inspired by the anime One Piece. Each fruit belongs to a different character in the anime, but do we know them all? In today's video, I'm going to put an end to some of your curiosity by showing you all the fruits in Blox Fruits compared to their user in the anime, Venom Fruit. We've managed to become a giant poison dragon in Blox Fruits, capable of throwing poison everywhere. In the anime, its user is Magellan, the warden of Impel Down Prison, with his poison fruit, with powers capable of creating several hydros of poison, being untouchable by the high number of poison in his body. Barrier fruit. We can create all kinds of barriers and control characters, even lower barriers from the sky. In the anime, Bartholomew is able to create unbreakable barriers, being able to use them for both defense and attack. Love fruit. A little pink bird capable of flying through the sky. Not only that, with this fruit you can summon your inner love to vanquish your enemies, even summon a friend of love. In the anime, Boa Hancock is the girl who makes anyone fall in love with her easily. She thinks she's beautiful all the time, and the power of her beauty makes all those cattle fall in love with her. Yes, and that's not all. She creates a heart with her hand and ends them all. Falcon fruit. A meme fruit, in my opinion, in Blox Fruits. Capable of summoning feather spines to defeat your enemies, making a gale. But that's it, I don't think it's that powerful. But in the anime, Pell is a user who turns into a hybrid. Half man, half hawk. Or a complete hawk to finish off his enemies and defend the princess. Bomb fruit. Explosions. You can lay landmines if someone steps on them. You'll take damage from the explosion. You can also direct your explosion. This is Gem, a pirate with the bomb fruit who works for Crocodile to rule the island of Alabasta. Don't mess with him. He's a gangster. He's very powerful. Spring or spring fruit. I don't find this fruit that powerful in Blox Fruits. It has some funny attacks. You can even hit it on every building. It's very similar in the anime. Bellamy is the one who uses it, and he's able to throw himself all over the place to pick up speed and attack Luffy. But Luffy isn't a bokoblin, you know that? And it's not a spring fruit that's going to finish off our favorite pirate. Magma fruit, the famous fruit for hunting Cerbiches. You can also walk on lava with it and summon magma attacks from everywhere. In the anime, Akainu is the admiral of the Navy fleet who uses this magma fruit and is able to make a meteor shower and stop anything. Meteor shower and stop anything. Look at that! That's a lot of power. He creates his own eruption that comes out of his arms, even though he doesn't like the Navy. Fruit of light. The famous moving fruit. I love this fruit for moving around. And for PvP, it's nothing to sneeze at. With its hardcore fast and obvious kick. What's great about this fruit is the speed of its attacks. This is Kizaru, being one of the current Navy admirals with his fruit of light, being able to fly and use skills obviously at the speed of light. I found it a bit OP. In fact, it is very OP. Everyone else thought so too. This is the portal fruit. One of my favorite fruits for PvP. Capable of creating another dimension and going to a parallel reality and trapping your enemies with these interdimensional chains. It can also turn you invisible. In PvP, this is a godsend. Bluino, a world government agent with the portal fruit that allows the user to create doors through anything he touches. Chop fruit. It's a fruit that can be quite memeable because no blade can cut it. It can also fly, making its whole body like a spinning top, dance, have a party, and also throw itself at its enemy. Pirate Bug the Clown. Thanks to his fruit, he doesn't take any damage from swords. He can also be quite troll-like and annoying when he wants to. But he's one of my favorite pirates. Spin fruit. It spins so much that it can fly. And I think that's the only good thing about this fruit because all its skills are nothing special. When I say nothing much, I mean nothing much at all. But it flies. Buffalo is a fighter for the Don Quixote pirates. Led by Doflamingo and an officer in that Pike's army, if you know what I mean, with the ability to fly. Smoke fruit. The only advantage of this fruit, in my opinion, is that it's a smoke fruit. Its attacks invoke smoke. Everything is related to smoke in this fruit. And F creates a smoke bomber, capable of creating so much smoke that he can fly. Even his blow is made of smoke. Smoke, being considered Vice Admiral of the Navy with his smoke fruit, where he becomes invulnerable. This captain has already been talked about in the anime, Flame Fruit. I think this is one of the best fruits for beginners in Blox Fruits. Firstly, because it's easy to get one of these. Second, because it's really cool. Thirdly, because it also flies. And fourthly, because Skill V is really cool. Ace uses this fruit in the anime. With his flame fruit, he is the second in command of Whitebeard's crew. He's also my favorite member of the crew, Ice Fruit. Walking on water is just one of the advantages of this fruit. It's often used in PvP to freeze your enemy when they least expect it. Who hasn't been caught by V? If you've never been caught, you've never played PvP. Okiji. Currently a former admiral in the Navy after his defeat by a Kainu for the rank of Fleet Admiral. Dark Fruit. This fruit scares me a bit because its attacks are extremely gives darkness. Not to mention Dark Bomb, which is like the flame skill. But dark! Oh my god. This is epic. Blackbeard, current Emperor of the Sea after defeating Whitebeard, and steal his fruit, thus owning two fruits. Dark and Quake. A fun fact is that he has never slept in his entire life, hence his handsome face. Diamond Fruit, Freezing Drip. Dude, that's basically what this fruit is. You turn into a handful of diamond and you have more defense. And we're also very stylish, right? Frozen. And we can also blind our enemies with the solar flame of blue. Currently, the user of the diamond, which allows him to become all shiny with high defenses, can block any attack. Rubber Fruit. A little fruit that can transform itself. It reminds me of Luffy's Gear 5 Smoke Boy. If you throw it far and give it a handful of rubber punch. Oh, this is nice. Monkey D. Luffy being the protagonist with his rubber fruit totally immune to lightning and gunfire. As well as transformations such as your Gear 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ghost Fruit, with which we can use very sinister attacks. Yes, just that little sound is scary. And the coolest thing is that you can summon Ghostbusters to wipe out all the NPCs. It's like a gang of ghosts that follow you around and imitate you in every way. Brook is a pirate with the Resurrection Fruit, who after being killed, turned into a skeleton that has lived for over 90 years. Oh, and he loves rock music. Quake Fruit, capable of creating a tsunami. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I put everything underwater, not to mention its skills, which in my opinion are some of the most beautiful skills in Blox Fruits. It's also great for PvP if you know how to use it. Whitebeard, former Emperor of the Sea with his Earthquake Fruit capable of destroying the world, summoning tsunamis, as well as being the man who clashed with the Pirate King. Respect this guy. Buddha Fruit. I know it's one of everyone's favorites, after all, it can't be otherwise. It's super strong. This fruit is wonderful for doing basically everything. The click is super strong. If you use it with a sword, it works really well. It even has a dash, man. Not to mention the Mega Explosion. Former Fleet Admiral with his Zone type Mystic Buddha Fruit, now retired after the war between sailors and pirates. Spider Fruit. This is a tricky fruit to use here at Blox Fruits because the cooldown of its abilities is very slow and the damage isn't great either. My favorite skill is definitely FNC, which has a completely long and absurd damage. Doflamingo, ruler of the island of Dressrosa with his Fruit of the Line, capable of creating a giant cage that destroys everything it touches. Sound Fruit. Everything about this fruit is incredible. C is the greatest observation hockey breaker you've ever seen. The Z has 3 cool clicks. V is literally a musical explosion. And the X, you can make your enemy deaf with so much bass. And you can fly around. And if you fly too far, you even get a speed buff. After being abandoned on an island, she found the Fruit of Sound. She is able to transport people's consciousness into an imaginary space by singing. Phoenix Fruit. In addition to transformation, it can use regenerative flames. She can kick her feet up and turn into a phoenix. It even flies extremely fast. Very good for getting around in Blox Fruits. Marco, former commander of Whitebeard's crew, with his Phoenix Fruit, he can transform into a blue fire phoenix, with the power to heal his allies. Rumble Fruit. This is my favorite fruit. Lightning speed, not to mention that I can summon a gigantic storm to stun my enemies. One of the best fruits in the PvP skill. Enel. Considered the god of Scipia by his followers. With his lightning fruit, just like Zeus, lightning powers are up to him, he can destroy anything. Pain Fruit. This fruit is a bit of a mystery in my opinion. We have the Z, the X, the C, which throws a gigantically giant paw, and V, a giant red paw. And the F, which is a paw dash. Bartholomew Kuma. Currently a robot with a paw fruit, where it transports you to the place you want most. Now you probably understand. Blizzard Fruit. Freezing. That's right, a legendary fruit, capable of throwing frost at all your opponents. F, basically it uses ice to deal damage and fly, creating a whirlpool of ice. And that's really cool because you can defeat your enemies without taking any damage. Monet, working for Doflamingo. She got the Blizzard Fruit so she can create clones made of snow and also make a snowstorm. Mammoth Fruit. You become a giant mammoth, able to hit all your enemies. This fruit has a very powerful click, and when it launched, it was completely the most broken. My favorite skill of this fruit is F. It drags enemies around until it defeats them. You can hold this skill as long as you like. What could be more broken than that, man? A powerful member in Kaido's crew, renowned for their strength. With his mammoth fruit, he is ruler of a region within the Wano country. Dough Fruit. Donut Spin. Myth of movement. He can go to any island, climb any building. There's the V, which summons 1,000 fists of dough to finish off your enemy. The C, which gives him an absurd stun skill to combine with the Z. Or with the X if you prefer to summon a big Masthorn, the anime's most feared villain. With a fruit for Master Lugia, thanks to his high level of observation haki. T-Rex's Fruit. I don't think there's a cooler transformation than this. It's a very good fruit to use in a click, and it's really strong. What about skills? Look, the X, the C, and the F. It does a super jump and summons lots of fire labyrinths. That fruit is incredible, not to mention his little arms. X-Drake, with a prehistoric fruit that's very hard to find. He turns into a dinosaur, as well as being a pirate spy who infiltrates the Navy. Leopard Fruit. Literally, you turn into a very cool leopard, considered by many to be the spam fruit. All you have to do is bang your head on the keyboard to unleash the skills. That's right. And the damage? You see, completely eye-catching fast, only a leopard can keep up. Robbie Lucy working for the world government, where he was given his leopard fruit, for him to go on a quest to discover the location of the strongest weapons in the world. Dragon Fruit. This fruit can turn you into a hybrid dragon, so you can fly around the pirate world. With it, you can master dragon breathing, launching labyrinths of fire. Very strong. You can use a heat wave and transform yourself into a giant dragon. Kaido. With his dragon fruit, he was considered an immortal person. No one has ever been able to defeat him. Shadow Fruit. A world of darkness with this fruit and completely bizarre skills. You're practically a vampire, with skills capable of sucking the life out of your enemy. You can also fly with a flurry of bats, which is pretty cool. And you can also create Dark Rebellion. That's what a Dark Rebellion is, bro. Checo Moria. owner of Thriller Bark Island, with the power to control people's stolen shadows, can even create an army of zombies. Spirit fruit? You can fly using one of the spirits, which is pretty cool. You can also use V, which is one of the coolest skills in all of Blox Fruits, and also C. Choose Wrath or Ha's Wrath. You can master the 2 spirits that help you on your journey with this fruit. Big Mom. Being the strongest woman capable of stealing spirits from any living being in the world, and she can give life to any object in existence. Gravity fruit. Also a fruit that allows you to fly. What's even curious is that it removes the grain of earth from your foot. I came out of the grass, so there's a rock of grass. If I leave the ground, there's a rock of earth. We can throw meteorites, make the ground shake, and send a gravitational push. Being an admiral who took his own sight because he couldn't bear to see the world at war after he joined the Navy with his gravity fruit. Gravity fruit. Maybe you've never seen it, but the V skill of the gravity fruit is one of the coolest skills in all of Blox Fruits. Look at that animation, 11,000 damage. We also have the C, the X, which pulls out anything that's within our gravity range. For example, you can pull a rock out of the wall and throw it at anyone's head. And the F, which teleports us in the middle of our dome. Lao, the Surgeon of Death, he can control anything he wants inside the domain, thus making him a god. Kitsune fruit. The fruit with the most strong moves, in my opinion. It also allows you to transform into a fox. If you equip the pilot helmet, then the speed will be overpowered. Skills like CZX. All this to make your PvP even stealthier, not to mention the click. Click fruit, you know, it's extremely absurd. Yamato, after Kaido obtained the Kitsune fruit, his son Yamato accidentally ate it, thus acquiring the powers of a divine dog. And those were almost all the fruits. I left out just one. Let's see if you know here in the comments. Tell me which fruit was missing. Hugs from Lucas, God bless you all. Bye!